State Tournament boys basketball coverage resumes on Cat Country 105 Radio and here at Concordia University, St. Paul. It's beginning to look a little bit like Christmas. The New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva fans are here, many decked out in red, many in those red and white shirts that were specially designed for the boys basketball team getting to the state tournament. And the Cowboys from Breckenridge are in green, so there is a lot of green behind me, and then a lot of red and white across the way. And since we're not quite in spring, cool weather, I guess we can think back to the days of Christmas. But this is March Madness. This is the State High School Boys Basketball Tournament, and these teams are in the consolation game here at Concordia of St. Paul after coming off losses in yesterday's quarterfinals at Williams Arena. New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva lost a wild game, a game they came back from 10 points down, took the lead in the late stages, needed that amazing three-pointer from Lundberg to get to overtime, and then simply ran out of bodies. The NRHEG Panthers are here in this consolation game for that, an overtime 70-59 loss to St. Cloud Cathedral. And Breckenridge is here after losing to Crosby Ironton 64-49. When I look at the stats of yesterday's game, Breckenridge did a lot of things pretty well. They shot the three-pointers very well. They didn't rebound too well, and their overall shooting percentage was down a bit. But what was the biggest problem for Breckenridge is that Crosby Ironton shot 70% in yesterday's game, and that final was 64-49. And that pushes Breckenridge into this consolation round game as well. So here you go, a chance for these teams to play again, and the winner gets to play one more time against Lake City in tomorrow's consolation championship. Today's coverage on Cat Country 105 FM, on catcountry105.com, and on the Radio Pup app is brought to you by Federated Mutual Insurance, by Lerberg's Fitness of Ellendale, Cashwise Foods of Owatonna, Roscoff Structures in Geneva, H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville, Al's Body Shop of Ellendale, Holland Ag Ellendale, First National Bank, Waseca, Ellendale, and Hope. Brought to you by Floors for You, Corn Palace Ag Center, New Richland, GMI Ritter Insurance, Owatonna, by Hy-Vee Foods of Owatonna, and by Brian Wayne, Pioneer Seed. So a little bit of deja vu. The Panther girls came here to Concordia St. Paul a week ago to battle a northern team, and here we are, the Panther boys taking on a Section 8 team, Breckenridge, the Cowboys from Breckenridge, here in this consolation semifinal. We'll get into our pregame show notes as we count down to the tap, which is about 10 or 12 minutes away. Back to Concordia St. Paul in 90 seconds. This boys basketball tournament has had some amazing games, amazing finishes. We're now up to 2 buzzer beaters to come at the end of regulation that won a game for a team. That doesn't even count the buzzer beater yesterday by Benji Lundberg that sent the Panther game into overtime against St. Cloud Cathedral. Because earlier today, over at Williams Arena, a buzzer-beating 3 by Northwoods lifted the first-time state tournament team past number 3 seed Central Minnesota Christian in the Class A tournament, 54-51. The second buzzer beater in as many days to lift a team to victory. Now, in each case, the games were tied. They were about to go to overtime. That's a little bit different than a buzzer-beating shot that comes when your team is behind. I think it's just a little bit of a different category. But earlier in the day yesterday, it was Champlin Park that hit that 3 as time expired to send them into the the championship semifinals. And the last time I saw a score just a little while ago, Champlin Park is in a battle with Wayzata, a game that should be wrapping up soon with Gordy Kosfeld on the coverage on KDHL AM 920. A lot of basketball going on, a lot of fun stuff happening. The Panthers are happy to be in this game. It's the consolation game. They're happy to be playing, again, is how I should phrase that. And that's kind of what Coach Pat Churchill said as well when I chatted with him a few minutes ago. So let's go ahead and take another 90-second break and come back and hear from the head coach for the NRHEG Panthers, a recap on yesterday's game and a look ahead on what they need to do against this Breckenridge team in order to get one more game here at the state tournament. Back with the head coach for the Panthers in 90 seconds on Cat Country 105. New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva, now 28-3 on the season to play Breckenridge, a record of 26-3 on the season. Let's catch up with the Panthers coach on how they ended up here in this consolation semifinal. Coach Churchill, for the Panthers, boy, that game had enough twists and turns and thrills to last a while.
Yeah, it was a really hard-fought game. They came out and shot really well from outside the arc and built up a lead, cut it to 5 at half. Then they get out 10 points in the second, and boys just kept fighting, and I think we ended up taking the lead with about 3 minutes left and kind of went back and forth for a while. And, Benji hits the big shot to send it to overtime, but just not enough fouls for us. We had too many guys foul out, and they took control of overtime. But real proud of the kids. Thought they battled hard all night, and fortunate we get another game tonight to shake that one off and finish on a good note.
Lundberg, was he the one that should be taking the shot? Is that the plan on that play?
Yeah, we had Tyler trying to get in the way, and we had shooters in the corner. If those guys sucked up, he was going to kick to them, but he wanted to take that shot. He rose up, and guy was right in his face and knocked it down, so that was pretty cool.
Attitude today?
We're a little disappointed, but we're happy we're playing. It's you don't want it to end. It would have been a real abrupt ending last night, and we get to come back and play today and try to finish the season out strong. It's just been a great season with these kids. It's been a lot of fun, and we're very fortunate to get to play again and against a really good Breckenridge team. They're really good, so it'll be a fun basketball game, and hopefully we make enough plays to win.
And finally, what makes them good? What does Breckenridge do?
They really spread you out offensively. They'll go 5 guys out. They'll have dribble penetration, ball screens, and defensively they'll press and trap and get in your face and try to fluster you. And that's something we haven't seen a lot. Pressing, when Jordan did it last week, we kind of struggled. So we know we're going to have our hands full tonight.
All right, have a good one. Good luck.
Thank you, Roy.
All right, Coach Churchill, 7th-year head coach for the Panthers. Let's take a 1-minute break. We're back with the starters in the ball game, the Panthers and the Cowboys in the Consolation Semi Finals in 1 minute on Cap Country 105. Getting the introductions of the players right now, and then we are ready for basketball here at Concordia St. Paul, the home of the Golden Bears. We have a good crowd on hand for this Consolation semifinal. The winner will play Lake City tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Panther basketball on Cap Country 105 is brought to you in part by GMI Ritter Insurance and Brian Wayne Pioneer Seed. For the Cowboys, a 6'2" senior guard number 2, Carson Yagi. A 6'7" sophomore guard number 5, Noah Christensen. A 5'11" junior guard number 10, Andrew Cram. A 6'3" senior guard number 22, Stephen Lip. A 5'10" sophomore guard number 24, Hunter Feigum. Yagi, Christensen, Cram, Lip, and Feigum. The coach is Arlie Ohm, first-year back coaching after previously having been a basketball coach, but first year back. For the NRHEG Panthers, coached by Pat Churchill in his 7th season, the starters include a senior guard at 5'11", number 3, Jason Youngblood. A guard at 6 foot, senior number 5, Chad Agramson. A guard, senior, at 5'10", number 10, Sam Prigge. A guard at 6'5", senior, number 21, Oakley Baker. And at center, 6'8", senior, number 43, Tyler Raymond. Youngblood, Agramson, Prigge, Baker, and Raymond. Head coach Pat Churchill, assisted by Chad Budendorf, Isaiah Lundberg, and Sam Lundberg. Here we go. The jump is deflected into the arms of Oakley Baker. Panther basketball. They're dressed in white, red numbers, black trim, and a zone defense by the Cowboys in green. Kind of a emerald green, maybe. Not a real deep, dark green. Going to go emerald, white numbers, Cowboys, and lettering across the front of the jerseys. Panthers attacking the basket to my left, down inside to Agramson. Agramson trying to back down against Christensen. That's not going. Prigge now has the ball over on the right wing. Opening minute of this Consolation semifinal. The ball jabbed out of bounds and goes smack dab into a high school league official trying to keep stats on the computer on the far side. Now, it should be noted that one of the main players for Breckenridge, their third leading scorer, as Raymond gets the ball inside and he gets disrupted from behind, the shot ends up going over everything to the other end. Hey! Tyler Raymond flies back the other way and blocks the shot. As he blocks the shot, it is caught by the shooter who steps out of bounds. So Raymond blocked the shot and hits Panther ball because that ball was heading for the back wall here at Concordia's Gangelhoff Center. I was starting to say the third leading scorer for the Cowboys is out with an ankle injury suffered in the last game of the regular season. Turnaround jumper, good. Chad Agramson at 2-0 NRHEG. Derek Dahlgren, 13 points per game. He hit about 73 pointers on the season, but a broken ankle in the final regular season game knocked out the Cowboys' third leading scorer. Backdoor slam dunk attempt. They missed it. Raymond gets the rebound on the failed attempt for the alley-oop to Stephen Lipp, a 1,000-point scorer whose dad is sitting to my left doing the radio play-by-play for Breckenridge. Pass, open, Prigge, in and out. Rebounded by Yagi, but I think he might be called on the foul. And it's going to be NRHEG basketball. Foul goes against Carson Yagi. His first, team's first. So 2 seniors, a junior, and a couple of sophomores, starters for the Cowboys, while 5 seniors start for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Certainly their year, having made it to the state tournament for the first time ever. Inside, outside, travel call before Raymond could toss the ball out top. In yesterday's game, I'm on the wrong page here. Got to find my correct page if I'm going to tell you how the Panthers did in the way of turnovers. At the basket, this time it's Stephen Lipp for 2. Did not go for the alley-oop kind of play. Panthers yesterday turned the ball over only 8 times. They actually forced 13 turnovers on St. Cloud Cathedral, yet came up short in the game despite that. And now a travel call again on Tyler Raymond, who gives a little bit of an evil eye to the official who makes the call. And the Panthers have consecutive possessions end on travel calls. It is a 2-2 tie. You had the basket by Agramson and then the answer by Lipp. We've gone 2.5 minutes into the first half. Turnovers yesterday, Breckenridge had 9. They did force 17 turnovers, and they do force about 15 turnovers per game. Runner scooped up, off miss, Agramson the rebound for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Panther ball 2-2 tie, not quite 3 minutes in. Driving, Lundberg already in the game. Benji Lundberg finger roll to the hoop. 4-2 Panthers. Flying the other way quickly. This is Feigum. Hunter Feigum is cut off on a drive to the basket by Youngblood. He'll throw it out top. Raymond tips it the other way. Tyler Raymond collects the ball. Slam dunk by Tyler Raymond. There's no traveling there. Only air travel for Tyler Raymond. And the Panthers lead 6-2. On the dribble, this is Lipp. Dribble, drive, elevates, shoots over everything. Raymond the rebound on the other side. Raymond had a double-double yesterday, by the way. 13 points and 13 rebounds in that loss to Cathedral. On the runner, Youngblood missed the shot. Ball on the floor, scrambled for, and I think jump ball will belong to the Cowboys. So about 3.5 minutes into the first half, already a very spirited game here in this Consolation Semi Final. Winner plays Lake City tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Lake City ended up 62-41 winners over Jackson County Central in the game that wrapped up right before this one. Pass goes through the hands of Christensen, but he turns around and picks it up. The big 6'7" sophomore guard. He had 15 in yesterday's loss to Crosby Ironton. Weaving his way up the lane was Lipp. He lost the ball. Turnover Breckenridge. Oakley Baker will drop the ball off for Benji Lundberg. What a game yesterday for Benji. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 buzzer-beating shot that sent the game to overtime. Benji Lundberg Jr., great game yesterday. Now the Panthers' Oakley Baker scores, and he'll get the and one as well. 8-2 lead for NRHEG. Foul is called against Noah Christensen. Prigge had taken a brief breather. He's back in. Brady Agramson has checked in. Raymond and Youngblood will take a seat. Panthers happy to rotate in a number of players. At the free throw line is Oakley Baker. He's an 80% free throw shooter, 9. That ball came flying by my head on a long pass down on the floor, caught by Bakken. 9-2 Panthers. 4.5 minutes into the first half. Inside Bakken, defenders slipped by him, but he missed the bunny. Right there, he missed it. I've got Breckenridge 1 for 6 shooting the ball. They're a team that shoots about 44%. Whoops. Lundberg throws it behind Brady Agramson. That'll be a combination we'll certainly be looking at in the future. Lundberg, a junior, and Agramson, a sophomore. Coming into the game right now is Dawson Peterson. So a sub into the game for Breckenridge. Statistics are presented by H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville. They know taxes at H&R Block. 1 for 6 shooting the ball for Breckenridge. Passed into the right corner. Back hooked out to Lip. Hands it off once again to Christensen. Drives on Agramson. Spin move in the lane and sets that one up and in. 9-4. NRHEG with the lead. Christensen scored 15 yesterday, right on his season average in that loss to Crosby Ironton. Ball turned over by the Panthers. That's a 4th turnover on New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Into the game is Jack Schultz for the Panthers, 6'1" senior forward. He'll be playing football in his future over at Eau Claire. Into the front court, here comes Andrew Cram. 5.2 rebound, 2 assists. Hands the ball off to Lip. Lip drives, is fouled. And the foul whistled against Brady Agramson. Inbound play for Breckenridge. Tyler Raymond has come back into the game for NRHEG. Breckenridge is number 16 rated in the state, but in order to get to state, they beat top 5 rated Perham. So they got here in a tough way, beating a good team. Lip lost the ball between his legs, picked up by Jack Schultz. Turnover, Breckenridge. And then there's a foul, I believe, on Lip. Kind of lifted his foot up, apparently, and maybe tripped a Panther player or was about to. Jason Youngblood back into the game. Schultz will head out. Panthers certainly looked to him for defense. He picked up that loose ball right there as well. Into the game, E.J. Ingen into the game. So apparently Breckenridge also subs down quite a bit. 9-4, NRHEG leading. We're almost 6 minutes into the first half of this Consolation Semi Final on Cat Country, KRFO-FM, Owatonna. Oh, and another foul on Stephen Lip. That's huge. And now head coach Arlie Olm is walking the sidelines, stalking the sidelines, expressing his displeasure. And Lip is going to have to come out of the game. In his place, Noah Christensen checks back in. Yagi is out there, and we saw Peterson come in recently. Oh, here's a long 3. It's off the front of the rim by Oakley Baker. Baker has that kind of range. He missed that 3, and it did deflect off of a teammate out of bounds. 9-4, NRHEG leading. 6-minute mark is come and gone. 12 minutes remaining first half of basketball. Ball into the hands of Yagi. Passes it over to his left to Christensen. Cowboys clad in green attacking the basket to my right. Driving in. Leaner. No basket. Offensive foul on Carson Yagi. That is the second starter to pick up his second foul. It is the 5th foul on Breckenridge. And the Cowboy fans behind me are none too pleased. Oakley Baker is going to take a break. Up the floor is Youngblood. Youngblood on the dribble, passes to his left side to Youngblood to Lundberg. I have trouble with those two guys when they play catch. Here's the drive by Lundberg. Ball knocked out of his hands to Youngblood. Overshot everything. But a foul on Raymond, jockeying for position on the miss. I'm looking for the rebound. Tyler Raymond gets called on his first. So the whistles have been going fast and furious here early on, not quite 7 minutes in. Only 2 fouls on the Panthers, but 5 fouls on Breckenridge, including a couple on their big scorer who averages 17 points per game and is on the bench. Yagi hands it off to Christensen. 3, nope, rebounded by Lundberg. That is the first 3-point attempt by Breckenridge. 9-4 NRHEG. Drop pass to Jason Youngblood. Inside to Raymond. Around they go to the left to Prigge. Sam Prigge delivers it back to Youngblood. Quick ball movement by NRHEG. Inside to Raymond. Outside, Youngblood for 3! Jason Youngblood only has a dozen threes on the season. He hits a nice one right there. And the Panthers lead 12-4. 12-4 NRHEG. Youngblood was shut out in yesterday's state tournament quarterfinal game. 12-4 NRHEG, 7.5 minutes into the first half. On the dribble, this is Sam Bakken. Elevates, missed the shot. Rebound by Youngblood. Panthers doing a great job cleaning the glass. I've got them for 6 rebounds compared to 1 for Breckenridge. 12-4 NRHEG. Stats a service of H&R Block. Owatonna, Faribault, Lakeville. Nobody gets you more of your money back than H&R Block. Lundberg steps inside the lane, whips it into the corner. Lundberg to Youngblood, and Youngblood, my goodness, has his second 3. It is 15-4. Long-range shot missed by Breckenridge, rebounded by the Panthers. 15-4. 15-4 Panthers. Inside Raymond. Whips it out to Prigge for 3. Too strong. The deflection then goes up by Christensen, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Timeout on the floor taken by Breckenridge. 15-4 in favor of New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. We'll take a 1-minute break on Cat Country 105.
Download the Radio Pup app on your phone or mobile device and listen along.
So a 15-4 lead for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. What a fantastic start to this game for the Panthers. Coach Olm for Breckenridge grabs a towel, mops off his brow a little bit, stands arm crossed on the sidelines. Coach Pat Churchill, 7th-year head coach, stands, his hands in his pockets, more or less, now on his hips. Playing defense, and a foul whistled against the Panthers. That's Brady Agramson that'll be called on his second. Hey, folks, I want to say thanks to John Anderson doing some of the technical work to get these Panther games on the Cat Country 105 YouTube channel. I believe yesterday's game is available by going to Cat Country 105 and go to the YouTube channel for Cat Country 105 YouTube to listen to yesterday's game. Probably not while this game is going on, but then this game down the road as well. Now, Lip gets his own rebound on a miss. That second shot is missed and grabbed by Lundberg. Front court, Benji Lundberg slows down, hands it off to Schultz. Baseline move. How about that? Big Jack Schultz takes it to the rim. 17-4 Panthers. 8:45 to go in the first half. Now in close is Feigum. I think he was trying to find a teammate, ends up losing the ball. That'd be 3 turnovers on Breckenridge. The Panthers have lost the ball 4 times. Nice pass. Jack Schultz bumps, waits for the defenders to get in the air, draws the foul, goes to the free throw line, missed his shot. But Jack Schultz, a 70% free throw shooter, will go to the line. Schultz has already matched his season average of 2 points per game. Carson Yagi called on the foul. That's his third. Schultz misses on the first free throw. 8.5 minutes to go first half. We'll have statistics and a review of the brackets around the state tournament coming up at the half from the Gangelhoff Center at the Concordia University St. Paul campus. Schultz with one more attempt. It's good. So Schultz gets 1 of 2. Panthers lead this one 18-4. Now it's still very early, and there have already been a number of games here at the state tournament where teams have had double-digit leads and didn't lead at the end of the game. I saw one today with Springfield beating Nevis come from behind fashion. That'll be a blocked shot by Raymond off the block out of bounds. Raymond yesterday, let me find Tyler Raymond on here, had 5 blocked shots in the loss to St. Cloud Cathedral. Inbound, stolen away. Panther basketball, 4th turnover against the Cowboys. For 3, Oakley Baker off the rim. Tapped and controlled, though, by the Panthers. Benji Lundberg. Lundberg uses up the dribble, needs some help. Pass deflected, picked up by Agramson. Then he gets tackled and tied up. Jump ball. Should belong to the Panthers, but that'll use up the arrow. Jace Leno is the one that tied him up, basically pounced on Brady while he was on the floor. Or Chad Agramson, actually. Chad is the one that was on the floor trying to protect that basketball. Under 8 minutes to play first half, 18-4 in favor of NRHEG. This is a Breckenridge team, by the way, that scores 75 points per game. Here's a foul on Oakley Baker. The ball got jabbed away from Oakley, and he kind of did a little hip check to prevent the Breckenridge player from sprinting by him and grabbing the ball. That's his first, though, just his first, and the 4th team foul on NRHEG. But with the idea that this Breckenridge team can score 75 points per game, 4 is amazing, but the potential is there. Don't forget, they did lose one of their leading scorers to an injury at the end of the regular season, but they still have other players that have put the ball in the hoop. Up the lane is Christensen, bumps, spins, hook shot good, and he drew the foul. And that'll be number 2 on Tyler Raymond. So Christensen on the basket, he'll get the and 1. Tyler Raymond on the foul. His second at the free throw line is Noah Christensen. 18-6. NRHEG leading. And the shot is good. Christensen, a 72% free throw shooter. Brady Agramson back into the game for NRHEG. Panthers are a fantastic defensive team, one of the best in AA. At 44 points per game is what they allow. They score about 62. So even though they're a lower scoring team than some, when you only give up 44, you're in good shape. Youngblood almost tumbles out of bounds. They work it around to Benji Lundberg. Whips it into the corner for Youngblood for 3. Off the rim. Rebounded by Christensen. Youngblood has been hot from downtown. Jason Youngblood has a pair of 3-pointers. Christensen spin move in the lane over Agramson. Missed it. Got his own rebound. Sets it back up and off. He missed them both. Rebounded by the Panthers. Long baseball pass ahead to Youngblood. He drops it behind him on a drop pass. Nobody there wearing the white and red. So that is a turnover on NRHEG. And then at the other end, Stephen Lipp finishes off a rush with a basket. And the Panthers want to take a 30-second timeout. It's now 18-9. 30-second timeout by New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. With 6:35 to go in the first half, let's pause for 30 seconds on Cat Country 105. Panthers up 18-9, a little run here by Breckenridge. Panther basketball, Sam Prigge back in the game, bounces it to Agramson. 6.5 to go in the first half. Consolation Semi Final. It started a little bit early. Cat Country, KRFO, and Owatonna with coverage. This is Agramson, has the ball stripped, and he lost it out of bounds. That's 6 turnovers on NRHEG. He was having the ball stripped out of his hands, and as he was trying to maintain possession, ended up fumbling it out of bounds. Dribbling into the front court is Andrew Cram. Cram throws it to nobody. Throws it right toward Dave Wright, the public address announcer for this evening's game. Hamlin, sports information guy, and does a lot of public address work during these state prep tournaments. Turnover, number 5 on Breckenridge. NRHEG with 6. We'll review the official stats at halftime. Baker for 3. Yeah! Oakley Baker has 6. It's 21-9 Panthers, 5:45 to go first half. Jump stop by Cram, kicks it outside to Leno, hands it off to Christensen. Trying to set a screen for him. Christensen drives in. Ball is knocked out of bounds. A fair amount of contact. No foul, just the ball knocked out of bounds. So a blocked shot for NRHEG and an inbound play for Breckenridge. If the Panthers win this one, they play tomorrow at 2 against Lake City in what would be an all-Southern Minnesota Consolation Final. It'll be a Cat Country 105 broadcast tomorrow at 2 if the Panthers win. Ball jabbed free by Baker. Forces the turnover. 2-on-2 the other way. His pass is tipped and then lost out of bounds. So turned back over by the Panthers. 7 turnovers by NRHEG, 6 by Breckenridge. 21-9. Coming into the game is Engen back into the game. E.J. Engen back into the game for the Cowboys. Panthers set up their defense as Breckenridge inbounds it in the backcourt. Crossing the timeline is Engen. Works to his right side, uses up the dribble, comes back across the body to Bakken. Inside Christensen, fakes one way, dips a shoulder. Has the ball swiped at, turnaround, shot good. Boy, Christensen pretty strong with the ball. He's got 7 points, 21-11, 5:05 to go first half. Lundberg into the front court. Little stutter step move, left side open as Agramson for 3, skims it off the rim. Schultz battles for the rebound, saved by Breckenridge. Saved by Breckenridge after the missed 3. Into the front court, this is Lip. Lip against Baker. He pops it into the corner. 3-pointer good for Sam Bakken. 21-14. This is a 10-3 run for Breckenridge. 21-14 Panthers, 4.5 to go first half. Benji Lundberg shake and bake and uses up the dribble, and he might have dragged his foot. The official says so anyway, and really, his opinion is the only one that counts. So a turnover on NRHEG. They're up to 8 turnovers. I think I said they only had 8 in yesterday's game, and that's where we're at right now, 8 turnovers. Cowboy basketball. Into the front court. Attacking the basket to my right. Hand it off to Bakken, who had just hit the 3. The runner misses by Lip. Baker gets the rebound. Panthers doing a nice job on the boards. I've got it as 11-7 in favor of NRHEG rebounding. Panthers shooting pretty well, but they've turned the ball over a few times. They're shooting really well. 21-14 lead with 3:50 to go in the first half. Raymond gets double teamed, tosses it out. Agramson head fake, and then has the ball jabbed free. It pops right to Raymond. Turnaround jumper, no. Another travel call. That's 9 turnovers on New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Coach Churchill wants to debate a little bit with the official. Has a very brief conversation with him. As the Panthers leading 21-14. Breckenridge will come into the front court with the ball. Long shot, offline, rebounded by Breckenridge. Then the next shot misses. Panthers rebound. And in the front court is Lundberg. Flings it to his left to Agramson. Looking inside, turned it over. 10 turnovers on NRHEG. 3 minutes to go. First half, still a 7-point lead for the Panthers. Christensen in the lane, rattles it through. He's got 9, now 21-16, timeout on the floor. Timeout, a quick timeout. Let's do the same, a quick timeout. 21-16, Panthers lead dwindling. Back with more basketball in 30 seconds on Cat Country 105. Cowboys coming back in this one. They're down just 5 now. The biggest deficit was 14 points at 18-4. Now the run is 12-3. A 12-3 run by Breckenridge. They're within 21-16 with 2:45 to go in the first half. Ahead to Lundberg from Youngblood. Lundberg, the junior, on the dribble. One of the heroes yesterday with that 3-pointer at the buzzer to tie. Now Agramson for 3. Brady Agramson for 3. 24-16 Panthers. 2.5 to go in the first half. On the dribble, Engen. He'll swing it over to his left to Cram. Cram, head fake, ball fake, passes inside to Christensen. Christensen will take the 18-footer, miss it. Rebound comes all the way out to Lip. Toes along the baseline, finds his teammate out top. Shot up and off. Raymond collides for the rebound and got it. Raymond on the rebound on the miss. To the other end, Youngblood for two more. 26-16. Jason Youngblood, the senior, an 8-point first half. That's double his season average. And we're going to get a foul on the other end on Jason Youngblood. He got in Cram's way and gets called on the foul. It will be the first on Youngblood. So Youngblood, 12 3-pointers on the season coming into this game. He's got 2 3-pointers in this game. Got that regular 2-point shot as well. Breckenridge basketball inbounded into the right corner. This is Bakken. Now Bakken hit a 3. He's also a guy that hasn't hit 3s during the season. Entry pass, battled for on the floor. Agramson with the steal. Panther basketball. Youngblood to the other end. Floater in the lane, missed it. Rebound torn down by Cram. On the run. Front court. Cram dishes it outside to Leno for 3. 26-19, 1:15 to go in the first half. NRHEG in this Consolation Semi Final. Lundberg will pull up. He'll find Youngblood. Youngblood again. All the way across to the left wing side, down to 1 minute to go in the first half. Agramson got it out back to Lundberg out top. Zone defense by the Cowboys. Agramson steps inside. Floater misses. Tapped out. Controlled by the Cowboys. On the run, out of control on the dribble, lost out of bounds. Turnover number 8 on Breckenridge. Sam Prigge getting set to come back into the game. Panther cheerleaders are at one end of the floor, one of the few schools that have cheerleaders here at the state tournament. There are 32 teams at state, 4 classes, 8 teams, and just a small handful have cheerleaders, but the Panthers have a big group. They've had a lot to cheer about this winter, with the girls taking the consolation title last week and the boys here in the consolation semifinal this evening. 26-19 Panthers, 30 seconds to go first half. Pass in the lane. Oakley Baker knocks it in. Oakley Baker cut into the lane, and then Lundberg found him. 28-19, 24 seconds to go in the first half. With the ball is Cram. Lundberg guards him. Cram backpedals to the timeline with the large CU for Concordia University. 10 seconds in the half. Cram runs to his left. Passes into the corner. High arcing 3 missed, and there is a foul on the rebound. Foul on the rebound, and this is against Breckenridge. Missed 3. And it's Feigum on the foul. It's the 7th foul. It's Oakley Baker that'll go to the free throw line with 1.8 seconds to go. And Fredrickson enters the game for Breckenridge. Give him a little more beef for a potential rebound here, because with 1.8 to go, a miss by the Panthers. As the free throw is good, Baker at 80% free throw shooting isn't going to miss many. But if he does, the only real likely opportunity for a basket is some sort of a tip-in putback by the Panthers, so the Cowboys bring in a bigger guy down low. Second free throw good as well. So the Panthers go with the 2 free throws, and then Youngblood just about came up with a steal. I think are they going to say the half ended or not? There's no time on the clock. We're waiting to see what the officials say. And I think that's going to be the end of the half. Not sure if maybe the clock should have stopped quicker when the inbound was knocked back out of bounds. But 30-19. So a good start for the Panthers. Breckenridge countered, but then the Panthers countered again, and NRHEG leads 30-19 in this consolation semifinal at the half. We'll start to get into our statistical rundown and a look at how the tournament is shaping up all across the board here at the 105th annual Minnesota State High School Boys Basketball Tournament, with the Panthers leading 30-19 in the consolation semifinal. We'll be back to Concordia St. Paul in 2 minutes on Cat Country 105. At the half, 30-19 in favor of New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. 10 points in the game for Oakley Baker to lead all scorers. 8 for Jason Youngblood. What a great first half for him. Couple of assists as well. 3 for Agramson Brady. 3 for Jack Schultz. And Raymond with 2, Lundberg with 2, and Chad Agramson with 2. For Breckenridge, 9 points for Noah Christensen, 4 for Lip, 3 for Bakken, 3 for Leno, and that's their 19 points. Panthers are shooting 50%, while Breckenridge is shooting less than 30%. Breckenridge 2 for 7 on three-pointers. NRHEG is 4 for 11 on three-pointers, and the three-point shooting ace right now is Jason Youngblood. Youngblood has taken 7 shots. He's 3 for 7 overall and 2 for 4 on three-point tries. Rebounding 16-15 in favor of the Panthers. Turnovers 11 on the part of NRHEG, 10 committed by Breckenridge. 4 blocked shots by the Panthers, 2 by Tyler Raymond, 1 by Brady Agramson, 1 by Oakley Baker. 4 steals in the first half by Oakley Baker among the 7 for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Panthers lead this one at the half, 30-19 in this consolation semifinal. Again, the winner plays tomorrow at 2 against Lake City in the consolation final here at Concordia St. Paul. I'll take you around the rest of the brackets of all the classes of state basketball after a 2-minute break on Cat Cut. Here's a little peek at what's happening here at the State High School Boys Basketball Tournament. New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva leading 30-19 at the half over Breckenridge. The winner plays Lake City tomorrow in the consolation final. In the championship semifinals, tomorrow night at Target Center, number 1 seed Minnehaha Academy will play Annandale, and St. Cloud Cathedral will play Crosby Ironton. The Class A tournament started today. Minneapolis North rolled by Red Lake 93-46. Springfield came from behind to beat Nevis by a 73-65 final. Goodhue took care of business against Lake Park Audubon 57-37, and Northwoods won on a buzzer, beating 3 54-51 over Central Minnesota Christian. Those 4 teams advance to tomorrow afternoon's single A championship semifinals. In the 3A semifinals today, Austin beat Marshall 73-53. The Packers will play De La Salle again in the state championship game. During the 5-year run for De La Salle, winning titles twice, they've beaten Austin in the final. De La Salle 86-60 today over Columbia Heights. So it is De La Salle versus Austin for the championship in 3A basketball at 5 o'clock at Target Center on Saturday. And in the 4A tournament, they're playing those semifinals right now. And the first game, Champlain Park and Wayzata. The second game, Maple Grove and Apple Valley, is just now getting underway, and they've got that going on. Gordy Kosfeld has the call of those games, by the way, so after our ball game wraps up here, you can certainly tune to KDHL AM 920 and see how that Apple Valley Maple Grove game comes out, or Radio Pop, or KDHLradio.com to follow along with the other games. The baseline-to-baseline coverage being provided by KDHL Radio of this 105th Minnesota State High School Boys Basketball Tournament. Panthers lead in the consolation semifinal, 30-19. We've got the second half in 1 minute from Concordia on Cat Country 105. Well, the NRHEG Panthers leading 30-19 as we get set to start this second half of basketball. And looks like it'll be the starters out there. Youngblood, Agramson, Prigge, Baker, Raymond. Yep, all those numbers. Yagi, Christensen, Cram, Lip, and Feigum. Just double checking. Looks like the starters out here for Breckenridge as well. The Cowboys will start with the basketball. They'll go from right to left in front of me as I sit courtside, very near midcourt here at Concordia of St. Paul. Great crowd on either side of this arena with Breckenridge behind me. The NRHEG faithful across the way. Turnaround, Christensen, bank shot, miss. Rebound tap comes to a Cowboy, missed it. Back up in, and he drew the foul as well. That's Carson Yagi, who's going to get the and one opportunity. There were a couple of misses in there at least. And he got a couple of rebounds, offensive rebounds, and then got the putback and the foul that'll send him to the free throw line. 30-21. And Oakley Baker called on his second foul. 3-point play converted. It's 30-22. Just underway. Opening minute of the second half. With the ball, Prigge right in front of me. He'll center it to Agramson. Youngblood on the left. 8-point first half for Jason Youngblood, a senior. What senior wouldn't want to be playing on the final day of the season, which on the consolation side is tomorrow? Agramson in the corner. Baker for three from the left wing. Tapped up and taken down by Christensen on the Panther miss. Christensen drives the length of the court. Lays it up with the left hand good. 30-24. It's a 6-point game. Youngblood barks out the play as he crosses the timeline. Youngblood between the legs to Prigge. Back to Youngblood. Now to Agramson. Inside to Raymond. Raymond outside Prigge. Stutter, step, move, drops it low. Tyler Raymond for two. 32-24. Raymond on the basket. It's only his second field goal of the evening. 4 points. 32-24. Minute and a half into the second half. Christensen leans in. Missed everything. Rebounded by Agramson. Panther ball. Agramson with it. He'll skip it over to Youngblood. Youngblood back to Agramson in the lane. Bumps with Christensen. Hooks it up. Missed it. Rebounded by Lip. Actually, the rebound battle will continue. It is a jump ball that will belong to New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Jump ball on the missed shot. And Panther inbound to Agramson. That's Chad Agramson. Now Baker, boy, under duress. Three! My goodness! Oakley Baker with a man in his face. At the other end, it's Lip on the basket. He's got 6. He averages 17 points per game, which is the same number Baker averages. Baker, however, is up to 13 points in this one. 35-26. Raymond almost had the ball stripped out of his hands. Out to Agramson. Then Youngblood dialing up the three. Missed it. Raymond gets the offensive rebound. Youngblood with the basketball. They are shadowing Baker. Otherwise, I don't know if it's quite a box and one right now. But they do indeed have a shadow on Oakley Baker. Looking inside, keeping it outside is NRHEG. 3 minutes into the second half. Ooh, that pass was kicked by Lip. Lip goes for the steal, but he got his foot on it. So the ball will remain NRHEG. One of the fans behind me says, hey, it's not his fault. His foot just got in the way. Counts as a kick. Ball still belongs to NRHEG. More than 3 minutes into the second half, the Panther lead had been down to 6. Right now it's back to 9, 35-26. Nice behind the back dribble. Pull-up jumper, good. Benji Lundberg. Lundberg with just his second field goal, but it reestablishes a double-digit lead. And then at the other end, Lundberg with a steal. Intercepted a pass. Underneath to Agramson. Agramson gets fouled, and he's going to the free throw line as well for an and one chance. Fourth foul on Yegi. First foul of the half on Breckenridge. 39-26. At the free throw line is Agramson. Agramson, 72% free throw shooter. He's got 4 points in the game, averages 6 per game. Shot on its way is good. Panthers right now are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 5 out of 6 on free throws. Their lead is back out to 14 points, which I believe matches the biggest lead they've had in this game. They were up at one point, 18-4. Now they're up 40-26 with 14 and a half minutes to go in the second half. Ball handed off to Leno. He will give it to Feigum. Feigum drives in, low post, goes in the air, misses the shot, but drew the foul, and Hunter Feigum will go to the free throw line. Those stats that I'm sharing with you are presented by H&R Block of Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville. No computer program can possibly come up with every tax question. Youngblood on the foul. His second free throw rattled in by Feigum. Feigum is a guy who has not shot a lot of free throws on the season. For the season, he's 13 for 17 before that shot. Deep knee bend here at the state tournament, shooting free throws, makes it. Feigum averages 4 points per game. He's got 2. It's 40-28, 14-17 remaining in the second half. Inbound play for the Panthers. Long inbound all the way to Brady Agramson. He's into the front court, hands it off to Lundberg. Now tries to set a screen for him. Lundberg fires it to his left to Chad Agramson. Drives, drops it off for Youngblood. Head fake, tries to hand it out to Lundberg. Now open is Agramson for 3. Skimmed that one off the rim. Christensen gets the rebound on that missed three-point try by NRHEG. To the other end of the floor, Christensen rolls it in. Christensen on the basket. He's got 11. Now it's 40-30. 13:40 remaining in the second half. Panthers in the first half were 4 of 11 on three-pointers. Here in the second half, they're 1 for 4. And there's a foul on Breckenridge. 14, E.J. Engen, his first. Second team foul on Breckenridge. Tyler Raymond comes back into the game for NRHEG. Raymond will join Baker, Lundberg, Agramson, and Youngblood. We've got a 30-second timeout on the floor. With a timeout on the floor, let's do the same. 40-30 Panthers, 13:33 to go. Back in 30 seconds on Cat Country 105. It's time for the Mohawk March into Spring Sale at Floors for You in. So it's an inbound play for the Panthers underneath their offensive hoop into Agramson. He gives to Youngblood. A three-point on the way. Good by Oakley Baker. He even got bumped on the 3. No call on a foul, but he got bumped, and he still drilled the 3 from downtown. That's 3 threes in the game for Oakley. On the season, he's a 43% three-point shooter. 43-30. Panthers at 13 points. 14 has been their biggest lead on a couple of occasions. There's a long 3 missed. Baker gets the rebound on that missed 3 by Breckenridge. Lundberg sprints up the floor. Now toes along the baseline. Pass deflected, comes out to Youngblood for 3. He missed it. Rebounded by Lip. And Breckenridge with 13 minutes to go, down by 13. Three-pointer, good. That's Feigum. Feigum, a grand total of 6 three-pointers on the season coming into the state tournament. Isn't it amazing how players rise to the occasion here at state? 6 three-pointers for the entire season. He's hit 1 today. And you've got a guy like Jason Youngblood who had 12 three-pointers for the season, averaging less than half a three-pointer per game. He had 2 in the first half. Ball turned over by NRHEG. At the other end, floater, leaner, missed by Lip. Rebound collected by Baker. And the Panthers will take their time moving up the floor. 12-10 to go, second half, 43-33. Up by 10. Then Lundberg hurries up, takes a bit of an off-balance shot, missed it. Christensen gets the rebound. Christensen left to right-hand dribble, crosses the timeline. attacking the basket to my left. He'll go straight up the gut, lose the ball between his legs, roll it out, and a foul on Tyler Raymond, I believe. Lundberg is shrugging his shoulders, saying, what's being called? That is the third on Tyler Raymond. After talking to the official, Tyler did nod his head, so apparently he understands why he was called. He does come over and take a seat on the bench. And on the inbound, the Cowboys throw it away. They lob that over the head of the intended player. So with a 43-33 Panther lead, it's Panther basketball and an inbound by Prigge. So Lundberg is the one who will take the ball ahead. Gives to Agramson. And now Prigge. Prigge playing catch with Chad Agramson. Now puts it on the floor, left-hand dribble. 11 and a half to go. 43-30. Every time a team milks the clock a little bit, the fans start chanting, boring, boring. Panthers just playing the game, seeing if Breckenridge will come out and man up with them. They do have a man defense going right now, does Breckenridge. 11 minutes to go in the game, 10-point advantage for NRHEG. Prigge with the basketball, skips it ahead to Baker. Baker fires it inside to Agramson, gets double teamed, shot is in. Chad Agramson has 7, 45-33. 10:45 to go. Right side, this is Leno. He'll pass it back into the right corner to Yagi. Yagi drives, spins, left hand up, missed it. Rebound tapped up, punched ahead. NRHEG will rally for that rebound. 10 and a half minutes to go. 12-point advantage for the Panthers. After a 2-2 tie, they burst ahead in this game 18-4. And now, not sure where we have a jump ball. Jump ball belongs to Breckenridge. Subs coming in. Here are the cheerleaders. Bree Podratz Waters, Grace Lewison, Tally Wayne, Carrie Soland, Sophie Thompson, Laura Worrell, Emma Clemenson, Natalia Galindo, Sydney Schlinger, Kyra Poseen, Tatum Murkey, Lorelei Strom, Haley Westrom, and Avery Hill. 4, 8, only 11 of the 32 teams at state have cheerleaders. Shot missed by Lip, rebounded by Agramson. A deflection comes back to him. 10 minutes remaining, 45-33. NRHEG leading. Coming out of the corner is Brady Agramson. Winner plays at 2 o'clock tomorrow in the Consolation Final against the Tigers of Lake City. Oh boy, denied by Christensen. A big blocked shot on the shot attempt by Benji Lundberg. So a definitive blocked shot out of bounds, but it's still Panther basketball, of course, as that goes out of bounds off of number 5, the big 6'7" sophomore, Noah Christensen. Inbounded to Oakley Baker. Baker will drive, float, shoot, have it, shot block. Same guy. Same guy on the block. This time, rebound taken by Breckenridge, and from the seat of his pants, a pass over to Lip from Yagi. Driving into the lane, a foul on New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Non-shooting, only the 4th. Brady Agramson. Raymond will check back into the game. Oakley Baker will take a seat. Future St. John's Johnny. Senior, he'll play in that all-star basketball series at the end of the month. Inbound, Lip. Bumps with Lundberg. And then Raymond comes in. Might have gotten a partial block on that shot, but then the offensive rebound, and Noah Christensen puts that back up and in. So now 45-35. Still a 10-point lead for the Panthers with 9:20 remaining. Lundberg on the bounce pass to Agramson. To Raymond. Raymond outside the arc gives to Brady Agramson. Chad is also on the floor. Pass to Raymond, outside the arc, left side. Raymond gives it to Lundberg. Under 9 minutes to play in regulation. 10-point lead for the Panthers. Inside, and another block by Christensen, but he is called on the foul. That'll be his second. He went up, he swatted that ball good, but Brady Agramson is going to go to the free throw line on a 2-shot foul. Christensen called for his second. 4th team foul. And Agramson at the free throw line, 75% free throw shooter. Short. Short on the shot. Peterson coming into the game. He'll replace Lip. Stephen Lip, 1,000-point scorer, 17 points per game, 3 assists, 3 steals. He's been limited to 6 points so far in this game. And Agramson's next shot misses. Panthers almost got the rebound on that missed free throw. Good effort by Jason Youngblood. At the other end of the floor, the Cowboys with the ball. Bakken out top to Yagi. Drives in to the basket. High off glass. Yagi for 2. 45-37, 8-point lead, 8:35 to go in the second half. Game brought to you by Broskopf Structures Geneva, Cashwise Foods Owatonna, and Federated Mutual Insurance. Statistics a service of H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville. They know their numbers, and they know taxes at H&R Block. Panther basketball. Agramson on the dribble. That'll be Brady. Guarded closely by Yagi. Now it's Chad Agramson being hounded by Peterson. Raymond with the ball, guarded by Christensen. Fired inside. Great look. Jason Youngblood has double digits. 47-37, and the double-digit lead is reestablished by the Panthers with under 8 minutes to go in the second half. Christensen on the dribble. Drive. Stops. Fadeaway. Well short. Rebounded by Lundberg. Panthers are a little behind in the rebounding stat in this half. They had an 11-point lead at the half and are up by 10. So in the overall scheme of things, they're just fine. Rebounding, though, has been a slight advantage for Breckenridge in this second half. 7.5 minutes to go, a 10-point lead for the Panthers. Brady Agramson with the basketball, and then a foul on Yagi. If that's on Yagi, he's gone. That'd be number 5. That's it. And the senior guard will leave the game with 6 points and 7 minutes and 22 seconds to go. .7:22 remaining, and Yagi, one of the starters for this team, is out of the game. 47-37. NRHEG. Stephen Lip, he was plagued a little bit by foul trouble early. Had 2 quick ones on him, so some of his first half minutes were limited. Lip ended up with just 14 minutes. Well, I guess that's not too bad. 14 minutes in the first half. He is on the floor right now. He's their scorer. Handed off to the Panthers scorer. He'll kick it out to Prigge. That was Oakley Baker. Prigge moves in. Ball jab free from behind. Raymond saves it underneath to Baker. Oakley Baker for 2 more. Baker has 18. 49-37. 7 minutes remain. Lip drives in. Doesn't have anything. To Christensen for 3. Well off the mark. Rebounded, though, by Breckenridge. Bounce pass inside. And I think, did we get a timeout called? Timeout taken on the floor. 6:50 remaining. Panthers up 49-37 in this Consolation Semi Final. Back to Concordia St. Paul in 1 minute on Cat Country 105. Player that's in any sort of foul trouble. Prigge is on the score sheet now as well. About 8 players have scored for NRHEG. 50-37. Free throw made. 51-37. The Panthers have reestablished their 14-point lead, which they've had on at least 3 occasions. Lip for 3. Count it. 51-40. Big pressure, full court pressure by Breckenridge. And Lip runs into Baker. That'll be number 4 on Lip. While Yagi fouled out of the game, he's not much of a scorer. He was a starter, but now Stephen Lip is called on his 4th, and that is number 7 as well on Breckenridge. So Oakley Baker will go to the free throw line here at the other end for a 1-and-1. Oakley Baker was 3 for 3 yesterday on free throws. He is 3 for 3 today from the charity stripe. And the shot is good. So he'll get the bonus. Panthers 52-40 with under 6 minutes to go. Today's game brought to you by Al's Body Shop in Ellendale and by Lurberg's Fitness of Ellendale. 53-40, under 6 to play. With the ball, Peterson gets it ahead to Lip, playing with 4 fouls, not much choice. Christensen launches a 3, and that missed. Rebounded by Oakley Baker. Panther ball, 5:40 to go. Crossover dribble. Lundberg into the front court. Pass deflected. Turned over. And then there's a foul called as well. So it's going to be Breckenridge ball. I'm not sure which player got called on the foul. Sam Prigge. Number 1 on him. 5 on the Panthers. 5:34 to go. Winner plays tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the Consolation Final. Lake City awaits the winner. Lake City won their game this evening. 62-41 over Jackson County Central to advance to the Consolation Final. Into the front court goes Lip. Gets the handoff back to him. Christensen on the right wing. Christensen launches another 3. That one's short. Baker the rebound for NRHEG. Lip, by the way, or rather Christensen, he's not a three-point shooter, but he's launched several of them today. Breckenridge is desperate at this point, down 13 with 5:05 to play. Youngblood into the corner to Lundberg. Back out to Jason Youngblood. Senior dribbles to the middle of the floor, gives to Lundberg on the left, under 5 minutes to play. Lundberg drives in a bit, cut off then by Johnson. Into the corner, back out to Lundberg, right in front of the score table. Coach Churchill watching the action, seated on the player bench. At the end of the floor, the Panthers are working toward. There's a nice runner. Oh, what a great move. Strong move to the hoop by Oakley Baker. 55-40, the Panthers have their biggest lead of the game with 4.5 minutes to play, and lost out of bounds by Breckenridge. Today's game of service of Holland Ag in Ellendale and First National Bank, Waseca, Ellendale, and Hope. It is certainly looking like a 2 o'clock game tomorrow afternoon in the Consolation Final. Chance to play on that final day of the season is always amazing, and not a lot of teams can say they get that chance. There's a pass to Raymond, comes back, misses the shot, partially blocked, offensive rebound, Brady Agramson. And the basket is good. It's 57-40. The Panthers now 57-43. Three-pointer by Lip. I missed who had it, so I had to wait for the scoreboard to show me. Again, a programming reminder, you'll be able to listen to these games, and last night's state quarterfinal game, I believe, is available now on the Cat Country 105 YouTube channel. And then this game will be posted there as well. So if you're listening to us at some point in the future on the Cat Country YouTube channel, hey, thanks for doing so. Cat Country 105, the YouTube channel for these games from the state tournament. A foul is whistled on Bakken. That is his first 8th team foul on Breckenridge, and with 4:02 to go, Panthers go to the free throw line, leading 57-43. This game was tied at 2, but otherwise 90% of the game, the Panthers have led, and at times they've led by a fairly wide margin. It's Chad Agramson at the line, first free throw made, second free throw made. 59-43. I'm excited to look at these post-game stats, and therefore you should be as well, and you'll want to stay tuned for the post-game. And that's the number of role players that have had a big contribution for the Panthers today, as Christensen misses a shot. Rebound torn down by Chad Agramson. Front court for Chad. 3:40 to go. Up by 16 points. 17 has been their biggest lead. Lundberg lobs it ahead to Youngblood. Lundberg tosses it over to the left side to Agramson. Baker and Raymond round out the crew on the floor right now for the Panthers. Coached by Pat Churchill in his 7th season. Again, content to sit and watch. So often those coaches are up on their feet, moving around. Ball, wow. 4 players hit the deck. Oakley Baker hit his head. And at the other end, the shot missed. We've got 2 players that are dazed, that are just now getting to their feet, 1 for each team. I'm not even sure what happened at the other end, except that a shot was missed by Breckenridge. Oh, Christensen actually committed an offensive foul at the other end. So Baker and Bakken were slow to get up. About 3 or 4 players hit the deck in the battle for that basketball. And I think what happened was it wasn't an offensive foul. Again, I was distracted by the 2 players down, one being Oakley Baker. There was a shot, a miss, and then on the rebound, a foul committed by Christensen. So at the other end, we're shooting free throws, and Jason Youngblood hits the front end of the 1-and-1. That's the 9th foul on Breckenridge. Now 60-43. This will be the biggest lead at 18 if he makes it. Sure enough, he does. The Panthers now 61-43 with just under 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Consolation Semi-Final. The winner sees Lake City tomorrow at 2. Shot off. Rebound Lip. Back up and in. Lip. He's got 10 points in the half and 14 in the game, which is close to his average, but rest of the team hasn't been there. I guess Christensen has had a good game as well, but those 2 guys are the only scorers today. Lundberg, turnaround jumper from the free throw line, 63-45. Lundberg, by the way, is up to 6 points in the game. He had 18 yesterday. Again, these post-game stats, a service of H&R Block, Faribault, Owatonna, Lakeville. Foul before the shot by Breckenridge will be an inbound play for the Cowboys. Foul number 6 on NRHEG. Should be some fun stats to review, so don't go anywhere. And then when you do go somewhere later on, tune over to Gordy. He's at Target Center presenting the 4A Championship Semifinal between Apple Valley and Maple Grove. Fouling out of the game is Stephen Lip. 14 points in the game. And I believe his dad is sitting just to my left. He's the radio play-by-play guy for Breckenridge. There's a shot, a travel call on the Cowboys. Turnovers haven't been a huge factor in this second half. What has been is the shooting and then the minutes limited by the minutes limited due to foul trouble. So, throwing in the proverbial towel, Christensen, now did he just foul out? No, he couldn't have fouled out. But the sophomore guard has come off the floor, and substitutions, wholesale substitutions have come in for Breckenridge. The Panthers did bring in Jack Schultz right now, and we'll see what the Panthers do. As far as 2 minutes to go in the game, 63-45 NRHEG. Getting ready to check into the game is senior Carter Fisher for NRHEG. Leading by nearly 20 points. The Panthers are going to play for the Consolation Final tomorrow at 2 o'clock here at Concordia. Cat Country 105 FM with coverage. With the ball is Agramson. His pass is intercepted. Going the other way with it, this is Porter. Porter kicks it all the way out to Hopkins. Not the city, but the kid standing at the top of the key. And then a baseline drive by Bolding for a basket. 63-47. 1:15 to go. Panthers should use a timeout to get their subs in. Lundberg, little jumper in the lane, missed it, swatted it to the corner, and they'll work it out. We're down to 1:10 to go. Panthers should use a timeout. They got 3 guys anxious to get into the game. They want to play in the state tournament. Let's get them in. 1 minute to go. Panthers work it ahead to Lundberg on the right wing. 63-47. NRHEG is going to win this one. Fredericks is on guarding Agramson. We're down to 45 seconds to go. And I do see Coach Churchill talking to the official, and they're going to take the timeout here with 40 seconds to get these guys in. Checking into the game right now is Jacob Schuler, a sophomore, Carter Fisher, a senior, and Lonnie Wilson, a freshman. Remaining in the game are Schultz and Youngblood. NRHEG will live on to play in the Consolation Final tomorrow. 40 seconds remain on this one. The inbound is knocked back out of bounds by Bolding. So it's another inbound for NRHEG. No time came off the clock. Inbounder now will be Jacob Schuler, the 6'2 sophomore. Looks, needs some help. Bounces it into Youngblood. Youngblood with the dribble. Down to 35 seconds to go, and the Panthers are going to win their 29th game. Wilson gets all tied up. No, he traveled. Wendorf got in his way, forces a travel. And it is Cowboy basketball with 30 seconds to go. All Panthers all night long tonight. There were a couple of runs by the Cowboys to get fairly close. Here's a long three by Fredericks. Missed it. Rebound, Schultz knocked it out of bounds. It'll remain Cowboy ball. Youngblood exchanges a little chuckle with Ethan Fredericks. The senior has hit 4 3-pointers on the season, and he's launching them when he catches it. There's a long two that missed. Jack Schultz gets the rebound on that miss. And the Panthers, with 10 seconds to go, will cross the timeline. Wilson with the ball. Inside, Carter Fisher on the basket with 3 seconds to go. And the senior scores here at the state tournament. A 3-pointer at the buzzer misses. And NRHEG 65, Breckenridge 47. The Panthers will play in the Consolation Final tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. Another big day of basketball. And Christensen for the Cowboys, and Raymond and some other players. A nice hug, not only a high five, but a nice hug, showing some nice respect for one another. In a hard-fought game, there was a lot of physical contact in this game, and tough, of course, to lose this game, but good sportsmanship shown by both guys. And there, Christensen and Raymond, maybe they know each other, I don't know. They just exchanged a hug for a second time. Oakley Baker has an ice bag that he'll be putting on his neck or his head, as he got walloped pretty good there in the second half, and he and Bakken came together hard. The Cowboy players will now come over to salute their fans. A great crowd coming down from up north. Great crowd coming down from up north, and they want to say thanks, which they will do. Panther players will get the chance to thank their fans tomorrow when they play for the Consolation Crown. 65-47, your final score. Stay tuned. We'll get you some stats coming right up. Presented by H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville. Back to Concordia, St. Paul in 2 minutes on Cat Country 105. Well, the ball game wraps up with a 65-47 victory for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. They advance to the Consolation Championship game tomorrow. They'll play Lake City, so it is an all-Southern Minnesota final. Lake City with a victory earlier today. Got final stats here on this one. Thank you very much, sir. The Concordia St. Paul people helping out here with this Minnesota State basketball tournament, with the resumption this year of the consolation bracket for the first time since they expanded to a 4-class tournament. And that just adds up. And they used to play the third-place game here as it was, even under the format previous. But now with the consolation bracket, it means many more games here at Concordia St. Paul. But nice Division II school and a great place to take in a basketball game. So here we go with some of the stats of this one. Again, 65-47, Panthers with the win. NRHEG shot 52% in the game. My goodness. 6 for 17 on three-pointers for 35%. 13 for 16 on free throws. For Breckenridge, they shot 34%. They were 5 for 15 on threes and 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Again, team stats, 15 assists for NRHEG, 4 for Breckenridge. The Panthers did turn the ball over 17 times, 14 turnovers by Breckenridge. Rebounding 31-28 in favor of NRHEG. And then and they do announce the attendance as over 3,000. Well, that's a pretty nice number here. Individual numbers then for Breckenridge. 15 points, 8 rebounds for Christensen. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists for Stephen Lipp. And it goes way down from there. 5 for Yagi, 4 rebounds. 5 points for Feigum, 3 points for Bakken, 3 points for Leno, 2 points for Charlie Bolding. A lot of players scored for NRHEG. Oakley Baker, 22 points. He had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 steals, and a blocked shot. 12 points for Jason Youngblood. What a monster game for the senior. He had 3 rebounds as well and was 2 for 6 on three-pointers, 4 for 10 overall. A 12-point game for Jason Youngblood. Great job. Chad Agramson had 9 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. 6 points, 4 rebounds for Benji Lundberg, plus 5 helpers and 2 steals for Benji Lundberg. 5 points in the game for Brady Agramson. He had 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. 4 points for Tyler Raymond, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal as well. That was 3 points then for Jack Schultz. He had a rebound. 2 points for Carter Fisher off the bench there in the late stages. 2 points and a rebound and 2 assists for Sam Prigge. So overall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players scored for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. They shoot 52% in the game and advance to the Consolation Final tomorrow at 2 o'clock against Lake City. Going to be another big day of basketball. Hey, folks, you can tune over to KDHL Radio, AM 920. Gordy Kosfeld has the call from the Target Center of the State 4A semifinals with Apple Valley. Got to say hi to Dave Wright coming over here. Great job on the PA, sir. Good to see you, Dave. Dave Wright, I end up working with him a little bit in the process of covering Ole football during the course of that time of year with KDHL Radio. Dave Wright, you see his face on camera during a lot of those public address stints he does with the Minnesota State High School League and does a nice job on that. Gordy has the call. Speaking of state tournament appearances and other avenues of the state tournament, KDHL Radio, AM 920, or KDHLradio.com, or Radio Pup. He's got the balance of that Apple Valley versus Maple Grove game, which I imagine is an exciting game. It was due to start at about 8 o'clock, so they should be somewhere in the second half of that game. So feel free, of course, to tune over and catch all the action. Big thanks to our sponsors, including Hy-Vee Foods of Owatonna, Brian Wayne Pioneer Seed, GMI Ritter Insurance Owatonna, Corn Palace Ag Center of New Richland, Floors for You at Ellendale, First National Bank, Waseca, Ellendale, and Hope, Holland Ag in Ellendale, Al's Body Shop of Ellendale, H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville, Broskoff Structures in Geneva, Cashwise Foods, Owatonna, Lerberg's Fitness of Ellendale, as well as Federated Mutual Insurance. Just like the girls a week ago, a chance to play on the final day of the season, a day that you know is it. And you're playing for a title. You're playing for a consolation championship. You're playing for some hardware. That's what the Panther boys will do tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock against Lake City. If you can be here at Concordia to take it in, great. Otherwise, I'll have it for you on Cat Country, catcountry105.com, and on the Radio Pup app as well. Big thanks to Jeff Woody Woodrich back at the Cat Country 105 studios. And, of course, to Bjorn Peterson and Jason Iacovino, who have done the call of a lot of these games, but schedules sometimes don't permit them to be on site, even though they would like to be. So I certainly enjoy the opportunity to fill in for those two guys and bring you Panther basketball here on Cat Country 105. And that final score is New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva 65, Breckenridge 47. The Panthers play for the Consolation Crown tomorrow afternoon. Have a great night. Talk to you tomorrow from Concordia, St. Paul. This is Roy Koenig bidding you a good evening. Stay dry.